Hey everybody, I'm Tony Fleming from Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Thank you for joining me on what I consider one of the best cars combinations ever done. And I'll tell you why I say that. Because a classic car has a style. That's why you're looking at the video. A classic car has a style that no other car has. Today's modern car, while great looking and great performing, what have you, doesn't look anything like this, especially in person, right? But it drives like an old car, which is not a bad thing. However, today's modern car drives significantly better. Well, how about combining the best of both worlds and getting something here that is spectacular? The likelihood of you running into this car at a car show anywhere in the country, right, is slim to none. Why? Well, because a 68 Impala SS, first off, is an expensive car to restore. So they're mostly not out there. The ones that are restored are already expensive. And then when you take it to the next level of pro touring, adding the LS drivetrain, overdrive automatic, big brakes, big wheels and tires, full suspension, custom audio, custom dash, custom this, custom that, you're like, oh my God, man, I'm in the $150 range, right? So it's always better to buy a car that's been done by somebody, allow them to drive it for a little while, and then boom, it's yours. Now, here's the good part about this, and this is the part that makes me the happiest, is that you could make a couple small changes to this car if you wanted to and make it your own. And here's what I mean by that. Let's say you don't love this hood here. We have the stock flat hood. We can paint that, color match it right here, so it'll be a flat hood that's on there. Maybe you would love to have that a little bit better. Inside, we get inside there. You have a couple choices in there. And then the rest of the car, I got to tell you, has a stance, a feel, a drive, and all that good stuff. That is just fabulous. All right, so let's get started and talk about some crazy paint, crazy interior, and crazy parts. All right, so what do I get a lot of times when I go someplace? I go, Tone, that's a great looking car, man. Wow, love that, right? And you love that because that's why we buy it. We want people to go, wow, that's a great car. However, most people don't know why it's a great looking car. They just say it's a great looking car. So here's my take on that. So for instance here, very few 68 Impalas were made with hideaway headlights. Very few. And you're saying, oh, yeah, that's why the car looks so good. I didn't even think about that, right? Because you didn't notice, because 99% of Impalas have the headlights exposed. This here has a working headlight door package on here, which is pretty incredible, right? That was very expensive to do. Color match that, all that good stuff. That's all done already. All new chrome, stainless, bezels, like every little thing. You said, hey, Tone, how much does a bezel cost? That's not my point. My point is it's all of the bezels. It's all of the emblems. It's all of the wheel trim. It's all of the bumpers, the lenses, this, right? And as you walk around and you see these giant tires with these giant brakes inside here, this car drives like no Impala you've ever driven, right? It goes down the road, it handles, it accelerates, it shifts. You could drive to the beach, you could go wherever. It's got overdrive automatic, it's got air conditioning. Wait till we get inside, you'll be like, wow, I love this car. We'll figure a way to get it in your garage. All right, so why is paint important? Well, I'll tell you why paint is important. Because people say, oh, the mechanical part is the most important. Paint, who cares? Well, let me just tell you, nobody has ever looked at a primered car and go, wow, that's beautiful. How much time did you put into that, buffing the primer? No. When you've done all of the hard work underneath and then you throw on spectacular Fathom Blue metallic paint, like this blue paint has metallic in it and it just glows. When we get outside, you get to see it under the lights. It's amazing. But here's the lesson I want you to have real quick. We do this video here showing the paint because pictures can be manipulated. The video is live, it's real, it's raw, and it lets you know exactly what you're getting. So a quick lesson on paint is that you don't want to look at the paint color. You say, Tell me, you just told me to look at the paint. No, what I'm saying to you is this. Look at the ceiling and the LED lights in the paint. Look at this type font that's in the paint. The crisper it is, the crisper you can see and make out all the detail, the better the paint is. Cars with orange peel make it very hard to read this stuff. And if you're buying a car and for some reason you've missed this car, right, make them do a video on the car and show them this. Make sure it's crisp and clear. Not that you can see it, but it's crisp and clear, just like this. So come on up here, Ange, let's show this. Look at this right here. So when I say mirror finish, like that right there, is some kind of spectacular paint. Look at the ceiling in there, the lights, all that stuff. It is wow. And if you decide to change the hood, or if you want, we can also just take off the emblems here, and you might not even notice just a little subtle scoop there, which is that nice little touch. Your call. We can do any of those things that makes it really fun. All right, so we want to take a peek under here because a lot of times you might want to go to a car show. You might want to show it off to some friends or whatever. We've got all that covered for you. This just arrived, so we're still doing a couple small things. We're waiting on a few parts that we ordered, and then we're going to finish dressing this up in here. But what we want to start out with is the expensive parts. So this LS drivetrain with overdrive automatic, right? Corvette power, significantly more power than a 396 would have come with back in the day. And here we have power four-wheel disc brakes, fast ratio power steering, right? Tubular control arm suspension there, right? Big giant footprint tire, big brakes all the way around, right? Very different, okay? Now we're doing the dress-up parts. This red cable that's there, that would be gone. This gets a beautiful polished filler panel that goes in here. And there's a couple other billet parts that go in here that make it look a little bit nicer. Clean it all up, shine it up, and then send you a picture of that once all that's done, right? That'll be a great piece of it. We're fuel injected, so it doesn't matter whether it's, 10 degrees outside or 110 degrees outside. You hit the key, it just goes. The air conditioning, as we get a little older, I know I mentioned it earlier that it has air, but I like to remind people of it because not that any of us are getting older, but let's just say we did get older. The nice thing about it is you can go out with another couple to dinner or go with the kids somewhere, whatever, and if it's super hot, you can throw the windows up and turn the AC on. Giant fan here, right? Anyway, all the good stuff is under the hood. It's going to be show ready by the time we send it to you, and this is just going to be fabulous. All right, so there's no mistaking this car for a modern car, right? This 6 taillights across the back here, great looking. Again, back to new chrome, paint, emblems, door locks, keys, right? On and on and on, all the money that's spent on here. Big fat pipes coming out the back, making a great rumble. Can't wait till we go for our test drive. But what we did do is we pulled up, we had custom-made carpet for this car. So it's black with the border in blue, right? It looks really nice when you open it. But I didn't want to put it in here because I wanted to show you one step here, okay, that most people don't do, okay? All dynamated back here. All set up for the subwoofer to put back inside here, right, to go with the digital sound system that's in there. You're getting a car that is done. I'm stripping this car down because I want you to see like what is it makes some cars better than others. So when you drive a car like this and you want the stereo to be nice, you don't want to hear the road noise, right? You want this to be a great car. It's dynamated all the way through the whole car. It's a step that most people don't take. And why do they not take it? Well, because it costs $3,000 or $4,000 to do all that. Order the material, have somebody cut the pieces, glue it down, take the interior out, put that down, put the interior back in. It's not cheap to get that done. And it's a shortcut that many people take. Clearly from this inside here, they did not do that. Secondly, I want you to see just how beautiful the underneath of this trunk is. Whoever painted the car, not only did they wet sand and buff the car, they did the same thing underneath here. And it's as shiny under here as it is the rest of the car. It's that detail stuff to me when I see a lot of cars that just says some cars are a little bit nicer than others. And then that nice close. All right, so you're walking up to your mean machine, and you go, man, that is a great looking car, right? I'm smiling thinking about it because I know. I walked up to it just now, and I said, wow, what a great looking car. There's headlights, the paint, all that stuff. Like, let's check out the sunlight when it hits the paint of this door. And then I was doing that, and I said this. Listen to that. That's somebody put a lot of time into a car, and that's what you get when you get a full-frame car like an Impala. Where a Nova and a Camaro and things like that, the doors are always tough. You always see the bottom of the doors never fit on those cars, right? Why? Because they're not full-frame cars. All right, so while the outside of the car is great, that's not where you're going to spend most of your time. You're going to spend most of your time in here, and let's get in here and talk about that because this is fabulous. All right, so let's go ahead, and if I could, I just want to turn this on just so you can see how cool this all kind of analog and digital dash all works, right? All of that's digital and analog, right, for the turn signals and things like that. You can see them working in the dash there. High beams. This has 6,905 miles on it since it was restored, okay? Full digital sound system, speakers everywhere. This is an AC car, so you have your vents here, vents there. Open up this right here just to make sure that that's there. All new interior, new seat covers, new seat foams, new carpets, new mats, new headliner, all of the trim, door panels, door window cranks, like on and on and on. On and on and on, just about all of the great stuff on this car. Whew. I get so excited about this, I get winded, man. I get really. And so this wheel right here is designed for people who might want a little more room. If you want a bigger wheel, we have other sizes as well. So that's kind of your choice on that there. This console is nice. We just ordered the correct sticker for this here because they didn't know where to get it. So we had it made where it will show the overdrive automatic. So it's a 4-speed automatic. Obviously, the car didn't come with it because the 4-speed wasn't invented by GM until much later. But that'll be in here so you know how to shift the car. And this is still that great, what they call staple shifter. Console is super nice. And I don't want to talk about the room lastly before we go any farther and move along here. This is the kind of car that you could take another couple out to dinner. You could drive to the beach in this car. You could take the kids somewhere. Like, dinner is so different in the back here, or just not the back, but taking people with you to a restaurant by having people in the back. It just tastes better, right? Because you're going into your cool car. Not that your SUV or your sports car, whatever you have, isn't cool. But when you ride in something like this, like no one else has seen, this is where the valet puts this car up front and pushes the Porsche Cayenne around the side. All right, so I want to close up this video and talk about a few things because I feel like the statement always applies. That's a great looking car, man. But people don't know why it's a great looking car, right? They just know it is because it's a culmination of so many things that make a great looking car. The hideaway headlights, very expensive to do. You'll probably not see another Impala at a car show. And now that I've mentioned it to you, you're going to go to car shows all the time and you're going to look at Impalas and you go, they don't have the hideaway headlights, right? These 20-inch rims, the US mags with big brakes inside with the red calipers, right? The paint is fabulous. Giving you an option on the hood. You want to change the hood and go flat. Maybe you want to just take off the fuel injection emblem here, which might be just enough for you, just enough sportiness of the hood without calling it out too much. Or you might love it and we'll just leave it just as it is. That's what I love about cars. It's like, what do you like? Okay. This is all brand new here too, giving it kind of that convertible top look, which is so great. That's why people love convertibles, because they don't necessarily put the top down, but they love the way a convertible top looks because it's not a shiny roof and it just looks different. Again, wow, that's a great looking car. There's another reason it's a great looking car. Anyway, air conditioning, brakes, power steering, custom suspension, custom gauges in the dash with, tach, speedometer, fuel, amps, like all that stuff, custom console, like on and on and on. I don't want to make this a 35-minute video telling you about all the things that are here. Call us, 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about this cool Impala, what I call Pro Touring Resto Mod. It is fabulous. Can't wait for us to go on the test drive. All right? And if you don't mind, hit the like button down below. That helps get our message out. I'd really appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel. We have new stuff coming out all the time. Maybe share it with your friends. They might like to see some of this too. All right? How about we hear the rumble under the hood of this LS Power in this Impala? Nice. So cool, you just hit the key, it fires up every time, and you get this kind of rumble too. Listen. That is not your grandmother's Impala. What's it like to drive a Pro Touring Impala like this? It is so different than all the other Impalas that we drive. They're just, an Impala's a big car, man. They didn't come with big tires back in the day, and this thing just goes around the corner and handles and stops, and I'm not even turning on the sound system to enjoy that part yet. This is great. Look at this, man. If I was going on a regular Impala, this thing would be like squealing the tires, going around the corner, all that stuff. It would not be good. This is nice. And all these other people are driving so slow today. What the heck? All right, we're wheeling this nice Impala down the road, making great noise. Whoa, this thing goes fast. This is a little faster than I thought. And the handling is unbelievable. Come on, wow. Look at this big Impala go around one-handed. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna cruise. I don't need to race today. I just need to go for a drive because today is therapy day. What's therapy day? Therapy day is when you get to go for a drive in a cool car. No boss calling me. no feed, no nothing. I'm just going for a drive. Hope you're enjoying this ride with me. This is fabulous. I didn't even want to turn on the stereo at the moment because the rumble out the pipes back there sounds great. I mean, you can hear it. Whoa. How you doing? The LS makes such a difference, man. Such a difference. Wow. Well, we got held up by a little traffic today, so hopefully we got a good test drive in. We got to see what it's like to go fast and go slow and kind of just handle. I hope you enjoyed the drive. I had a great day today. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.